Hello everyone, my name is Kate Marshall. The name of my channel is called Inked Paper Art, and today I'm going to show you how to make an over-the-page flap around belly band envelope pocket system. By the end of the video, we will have shortened the name. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to make my project out of two small A5 greeting card envelopes. These are rather thin paper envelopes. I'm going to collage on top of them, so it's going to thicken up as I do it. But you also can save yourself the work of collaging if you just make your envelopes yourself out of whatever paper that you like. That way you don't have to collage over top of your envelope. So let's get started. Now, this project, you're going to want to stick your envelopes together in a very specific way. Super simple. I'm going to walk you through it. I'm using pointed flap envelopes. You do want to have pointed flaps. That's what makes up our belly band. So if you have the non-pointed flap envelopes, maybe you just want to use some paper and make your own envelopes so that you can build yourself a flap in there. Okay, first things first. We're going to talk about the envelope that goes on the right side because we have two envelopes we're sticking together. The envelope that goes on the right side, you want to push the flap to the back, and the pocket, this little pocket envelope, is face up, just like that, okay? Then this guy over here, you're going to put the pocket to the back, right? And bend the flap back as well. And you're just going to take the two envelopes and we're going to use paper medical tape and we're going to put a hinge right here. And that way when the pocket is open like this, the two little pointed flaps are going to create a belly band. So again, just so that we're all clear, you're going to take the envelope on the right, the pocket is face up, the flap is put to the back. Okay. This one here, the pocket, the envelope pocket is on the bottom and the flap is bent to the back. So you should have something that looks like this. Line them up close together, but you're going to need to leave a little space there in between them. And you're going to take medical tape or washi tape or whatever you're using, paper hinge, put some glue on it. So I've cut my tape just slightly longer. Put some glue, it doesn't matter. You're just adding a little bit of extra sticky there. Now I'm using a blue glue stick. Obviously it's going to dry clear, but for a moment it's going to look blue. And so you're going to take your paper tape, whatever you're using, and glue them together just like that. It doesn't matter at this point what it looks like. Then flip it over and you're going to cut off the excess. We can't wrap it. It will get in the way of everything. So just go ahead and cut off the excess. So there's that. And there's that. Now I was going to wrap it, but I think it's too hard. So we'll save ourselves that trouble. I did get glue everywhere. No problem. Okay. So now we have something that looks like this. We just glued these two together, right? We have something that looks like that. You need to put this together in a very weird way, I know. So flip over the whole project, right? And then you're going to flap this flap to meet this one. And this is going to be your belly band. And this is going to flip over to the back like that. And that's going to be your flap around the page. Okay, so this is what we have. We have belly band here. We have pocket back here. We have pocket in here. We need to start collaging these envelopes. And the easiest way to collage the flap shape, because on an envelope, the flap shape is angled often. So the easiest way I found is just to take a piece of paper, put the flap down, trace around your flap and cut it out. It's very simple. I'm going to do it right here on this one. You're just going to position it where you want it and then just go ahead and trace around it. And I just do a light pencil line. You want to make sure that your envelope is perfectly flat on there. And just do a light little pencil line. And then I like to draw where the crease is for the flap, where it flaps up. I just draw a line. And then I'll go in and just kind of rough sketch the two lines to where they meet. You could use a ruler or some kind of tool for that or whatever. But there's basically the shape of it. And then you're going to want to do that one more time for the opposite envelope flap. So just trace around it, Go ahead and go all the way there. Again, I make those lines where my crease is, and then I just kind of sketch across. You can see where you need to leave yourself a little bit extra. All the way around when you cut out, leave yourself extra. So here's this. This is an 1800s handwritten document from Spain that was string bound. And I like using the original things, but you know, you do you, right? If you don't want to use original things, don't use original things. And so we're just going to cut this guy out. I am leaving extra all the way around. I've learned the hard way that when you collage envelopes, you know, things move a lot. So you just want to leave yourself extra all the way around. There's kind of our shape. We have lots of extra on this one. So now we're going to take our envelope flaps. This is our belly band that we're working on here. We're going to collage just the front of them. So we're going to take glue stick, add glue stick to the flap, and then you're going to lay those pieces that we just cut out on here, just like that. And now I want it just like this. So I'm going to need to cut a little line right here, getting it a little bit closer. Now that I know it will fit on there, I can cut that nice and straight, and I can lay that right on there. And so from here, we just want to make sure we're all good. We're all covered, and I can seal that down. Okay, then we'll let that set for a minute and we'll cut out the excess. Now on this one, we're going to flap over and over. So we want to collage right here. It'll be apparent whenever you're doing it yourself at home where you need to collage, right? And so again, I'm going to cut off this excess. Just a little. Just to get me closer to where I need to be there. And we're good. And we're good. Okay. And push that down. We're all good with that for a moment. Now we're going to trim off the excess so that we can have our belly band closed together. And so just go from the back and trace around your little shape. There we go. I like to get it perfect, but if you're off a little bit, you know, inking or something like that can cover that up as well. So there's that. And now we're going to trim this one. There we go. And again, if you want to avoid the collaging work, which that's most of this project in all honesty, the collage work, then just make your envelope out of, you know, nice scrapbooking paper or something that you do like the look of. So there's our belly band. You can see it looks pretty good from here. We do have a little bit of that edge showing from the glue back there. That's okay. It will dry clear here in just a minute. And so this is going to be our belly band. It's going to close just like that. I like that very much. Now you can decide whatever you want to put back here in the back. Sometimes I'll leave it plain and just have the, you know, the flaps be the decoration. Sometimes I'll put something decorative to look at back there. For this purpose, I'm just going to go ahead and start inking and leave that blank back there. We're going to have a lot of other collaging going on here in just a second. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to run some ink right over the edge and just kind of blend out that white. Now I don't have very much ink on my dauber, so it's not really making it dark, like dark coffee dyed, whatever looking. It's just kind of disguising some of that white. And if we catch the edge, that's totally good. We're going to ink around it anyway. So I'm all good with it. That looks great. Perfect. So now we want to take our flaps, put them together just like that. I love that look. I actually like the little bit where the dauber hit it. So I'm going to mimic that up here a little bit more. It kind of looks like rust. So there we go. Little rusty spots. Perfect. Okay. So now I want to ink some more. I'm going to add a little ink to this so I can ink these flaps. And I'm just going to catch the edge of those. And so as you add layers of collage paper onto thin envelopes, it does thicken up nicely. And that helps because it makes it more sturdy, right? We're going to be sliding a tag in and out of this belly band. There we go. Gonna ink that edge up. There we go. We'll cut off some excess back there in the back. Perfect. All right, so our little envelopes are shifting a little. We're going to have to fold them down with a bone folder. We don't want anything to get too out of square. So I'm going to line them up and I'm going to fold it down and correct that little bit. There we go. Perfect. All right. So then we're going to glue our belly band closed. Now you could do a hole punch right here and tie it with some ribbon. That's just a different look if you want to do that. If you're going to do the hole punch method, you want to punch both of your pieces together. Let's just do it. Why not? We're going to do that method, I guess. So anyway, I got a little extra glue there. Hold your two flaps together. Now the glue is stuck to my finger. Whatever flap you like for the top, I like this one. I'm going to hold my two flaps together right there. I'm going to pull them tight and hole punch them just like this. Maybe possibly. There we go. Now our holes line up, right? And that's what's going to allow us to tie ribbon through them as a little belly band. I'm going to put hole reinforcers on because I like the look more than anything, but you don't really have to put hole reinforcers on. We've already got several layers of paper on there, but if you want to, that's how you do it. And we're going to use art glitter to put those on. So you really need one, but I'm going to do two. Just in case, maybe the person wants to untie it. Maybe they're going to see whatever in there. So, put that back on. I've got glue on my finger now. Everything wants to stick. Okay, so line up your little hole reinforcers. Perfect. And then get this one glued on. There we go. And then now we can put some pretty seam binding or ribbon or sari silk, whatever you want to put through there. Okay, so those are going to close like that. And we're going to have a tag down there. And this is what the tag is going to be. So we're going to have this tag going down back there. And you can put it wherever. I'm probably going to keep it to where it stops right there, but it could go in the middle too. That's fine. So this side is pretty much done. You could do more decorating, and I do have a stencil I left out here in case I wanted to add something. But let's move on to collaging the rest of this and getting the rest of this decorated. So from here, we're going to take the same paper. You could do, coffee dyed paper if you wanted to write on it or something like that. But we need to go ahead and collage the rest. So we're done with this side. Now we have this part here that's a pocket. You can cut out a shape of paper and just collage over that pocket. I'm going to start out by running some ink around everything just because when we're collaging, oftentimes there's a little bit that sticks out or whatever. So we're just going to start off by adding some ink there, right? Get your little folds and then get inside here because we're going to be able to see that this is a pocket. There we go. Just a little bit in case your paper that you put for collage doesn't cover it all. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut a piece for there. Now you could use a different paper if you wanted to. For me, I'm just going to rough sketch out a piece. Actually, I'm just going to cut a square. I think it's easier. So let's just cut a square. I'm just lining it up so that I can get some handwriting in there. Let's just cut a square. That looks good. That looks good. That looks good. Okay, so we've got a square and we're going to glue only what we want stuck down. And we're going to go ahead and trace out a little bit of a shape right now. So I've got this paper. I'm going to put it over the top. And then I'm going to take my pencil, and if I open up this little envelope, I'm going to be able to see just a little bit better of where I need to go, which was also the kind of the point of like inking things, is so that you could see the line just a little bit better. I've given myself a rough little pencil shape here, and we're just going to go for it. We're going to see what happens. I'm going to cut the whole thing at an angle, and we're going to go over like that. And so I'm going to make both of these pointy. like this. And that's going to be my rough cover of that. Can angle it over a little bit. Yep, that'll work. Okay, so that's how we're going to cover that. I'm going to glue it down just like this. I'm making sure not to get glue on my envelope part. Again, much easier if you just make your own envelope, right? But the end result is good. The end result is definitely good. So I've got glue all over that, including that little point that I'm trying to cover up. There we go. Add my paper on there, and you might need to move it at an angle or whatever the case may be to cover the whole thing. And then you're going to have some excess probably that you want to cut off. No big deal. That actually looks and feels pretty good. There's a little tiny bit there. Let's just cut off this excess from the back. There we go. You can also deconstruct an envelope. If you open it up all the way, it does give you all of the pieces and the angles to just cut out from there. So if you take apart an envelope, lay it open, and then you'll be able to just cut out the individual pieces from your regular paper. We did get a little bit of cut here. Let me fix that. Right there. And this one's closed. Okay, perfect. So that's collaged. That's good to go. And that's a pocket on one of the sides. Now over here, we have our belly band. Over here, we have a pocket. It does open up. The whole system opens up in the middle right here. On this side, I want to leave writing space, and I'm going to cover that with brown paper. And on this side is a pocket. And you can cover it with the same paper that we have been using if you want to. You could cover it with scrapbooking paper, whatever you want to do there. But let's go ahead and get that brown paper for writing on. And so I'm just going to use this packing paper right here, and I'm going to add it right in here. Okay. Now I like a rough torn edge. So I'm just going to tear myself a piece, and we'll see what we get out of it. So if I don't cover the whole thing, I'm good with it. If I do cover the whole thing, I'm also good with it. Doesn't really matter. I can see we could use a little less on that side. So now I do have a smaller piece. I'm good with it. So all I want to do is ink around this. I can see we have a little overhang of paper from that previous collage. There we go. And a little overhang there as well. There we go. And then just ink it. So I like to ink before I stick this one down specifically because I know it's not going to cover everything. So we're just going to ink everything. Inking our medical tape. Inking out here. Over inking. Over inking. And that way, if we have some white envelope showing, which we will, it's okay. It doesn't matter. There we go. And let's glue this down. So we're just going to take it, add glue, and glue it down. And whatever wants to stick will stick, and whatever doesn't will tear off. So there's that. Here's where we're adding it, and stick it on. So I'm trying to cover the tape up, and there we go. And so this is just some journaling space inside of this little wrap around the page folio pocket, whatever we're calling it. Trim off the excess. There we go. All right, so that side is done. Got a little more here to trim. This side is done. And now we just have one last side to cover again. So let's just cut another piece. We'll just keep it very simple. We can change up the decoration and that should be fine. But we're just going to use whatever scrap I've got laying here. So that side is fine. And we're going to just mark it with a pencil, roughly where that point is. And then I'll just sketch out from there. Like I can feel the point is right about here. And then it comes in and goes over. You can kind of even see it, you know, something like this, something like that angle. So I just rough sketched it. Cut off the excess here. And then we'll cut roughly that angle here, leaving some extra in case. There we go. And let's see how we did with this one. So we're good. Awesome. Now, if you have some pencil lines that you want to erase, you know, go ahead and do it. This is 1800s paper. I don't know how well it erases, but not too well apparently, but we're going to ink it, so it's okay. Let's add some glue stick. We're going to get this project done. We're nearing the end. Okay. So, and I'll show you how it goes on a page too, because it's really cute the way it flaps open. All right, so we want to make sure that we only glue what we want to glue. Don't glue the whole envelope. Follow it around and only get glue stick where you want it covered. There we go. There we go. And we're good. Okay. Then lay this piece on. You might need to do some shimmying or whatever to get it into position. We want to cover the end over here. Just need it to slide down. There it is. And it's on. Perfect. Okay, now from here, you're going to cut off the excess for the last time. We're nearing the finish line. We're almost there. Cut off the excess from the back side, right? Following your envelope along. Don't try to, don't cut into your envelope. You can avoid it. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. And we're done-ish, right? And then fold back that and cut off these little points that you've got. Great. Great, great, great. Okay, we're done. We're done. We're done. Let's see what it looks like. So we have a journal page laying over here somewhere. All right, here's our journal page. So this guy goes on the page like this. So you have a journal page that opens like this. Take your little thing, open it up, put it here. The belly band is going to be wherever you want the belly band to be. You can put it up here in the middle if you want. You're going to tie some sari silk or some seam binding or whatever through there. It's going to have a tag, whatever tag you want to make to put in there. This is just some cardstock tag. So there's a tag. Now, if it's going to be that long, you might need to move it down, whatever. So it fits on your page. That looks great, right? Now it opens from this side and there's a pocket right here. We need to ink this, but it opens from this side and there's a pocket right here for you to stick a nice journal card, right? So there's that side. And then when you open your journal page, you also have a pocket right here, right? And so you could stick something with a tab that sticks out right there. So that would be nice. And then it opens here and it has writing space, okay? It has writing space all in there. You can also take this completely off the page because it's just going to be held on. You don't glue this on a page. Because it flaps open, you just need to put it on with a paper clip. So just paper clip it to your page, okay? Then the person can take it completely off the page and use it. So I'm just going to go ahead and ink this up quick, and we're going to call this one good. Now for cards that go in here, if you want a simple card, you could just put like index cards in here, honestly. That would be fine. Index cards. If you want to coffee dye your index cards, that would also be fine. Just simple little things, really. You could bring the ink in here and kind of cover that a little bit more, but whatever you choose to do, they look great and they were just simple to make. You did have a little bit more collage work though, if you didn't make your own envelopes. So there's that one. We inked that one. We need to do this guy. So there's that. And you could, if you're struggling collaging the envelopes, you could open one envelope up completely and then it will give you the full shape so that you can cut these panels perfectly. Instead of having to guess, and sketch it, it is easier, but for the sake of time. All right, so we did it. It's done. It is. And over the page, belly band, right? Because here's our belly band, right? Good. Our tag is upside down, but it doesn't matter. We're all good. Over the page It could be flip out, right? You could call it anything you want. You're going to put a journal card in here. We need 2 more journal cards and we're good to go. I hope you guys enjoyed the project. I will see you guys again tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.